Hi team, this is Lex. Today in Malediction we'll be looking at the Convict Gunslingers. So this is the old second edition box because I could pick them up cheap, and I had the other miniature which was in the current set. So that's it. So that whole box, whole big box, is that tiny sprue. So it's the opposite of the last two boxes we've looked at. The Shikomi and the guys with bones, the bony guys, bone piles. So thanks for the support, instructions, which are always handy for the miniatures. Foam, which is great for making like cases and stuff out of, and two the oldish sort of like newish bases from second ed. So they got the stat card. So if you're wanting the new stat cards, you can look them up on that handy dandy app, which is currently having some trouble. They've just had their 15th birthday, and to show off, they've basically given us the rules for the Explorer Society, but that has kind of crashed the app. You can still look at them online, and hopefully by the time this video goes live, they will fix that. So until the app's back up and running, you can use the website, or if you've got the Outcasts 3rd edition book, on page 74, you've got the fluff and the stat card. So Convict Gunslingers will fit into a Parker Barrows crew. It'll fit in there really well. There we go. So really simple models. Snip, snip. I need new clippers. So we've got the little tinny Trejo there. So 2 arms, ponytail, and a head. So we'll go on and clean them up. Cool. So I've gone and cleaned up the parts there. So just need to be a little bit careful with the fine gun and chain bits. And his ponytail. That's Yan low beard level of fiddly bits from Weird there. So we'll be using Tamiya cement, and we're going for the head first, and so that's probably going to be the most stable part of it. It's got the guides on the back of the head there. There we go. So next we'll do his left arm. His right, my left? Yeah, that's right. So pretty large contact points here. So they're giving you plenty of freedom. And that's pretty much him minus the ponytail. There we go. So that's the little ponytail. So to put this on, we'll be using a pair of these tweezers. So they're like reverse tweezers, so they only let go when you squeeze them. If you leave them alone, they're nice and pinched. So that's the back side. That's the front side. And it wants to go in the direction of this gun. So just on the back of his head here, just there is a flat attachment point for the ponytail. So in the art, it's sort of shown raised a little bit and touching the shoulder. So it's going to be a little bit tricky, but we'll give it a go. You could also put it flat against the back if you do want more points of contact. Or you can just like, just drown the entire thing in glue. And you've got to fight gravity as well. There we go. Hours of fiddling around. We're coming to rest there. Just still pretty close. So we've got a fully assembled miniature tribute to Danny Trejo, everyone's favorite Mexican grandpa / gangster. So we're moving on to Convict Gunslinger 2. So I have no idea who the inspiration for this guy is. I'm curious though, so if you know, let me know in the comments, because that drives viewer engagement, which is important. But also I'm really curious. Most weird models have like a bunch of history in their designs, like where they've come from, where they're going. Oh yeah, I should dig up pictures of the old Convict Gunslingers, the old metal ones, because I only vaguely know what they look like. They still have the striped uniforms from the art. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing that. That could be kind of painful, painting stripes. And bright orange. What's cool, doesn't really fit the whole era Malifaux takes place in. Also, if your clippers are getting really dull, like my ones are, probably invest in a pair of new ones. Like I've got a nice new pair from Bandai. Yeah, Bandai. They're really nice. They cut super good. Whereas these ones are pressure to cut, whereas the other ones are super sharp. There we go. Beautiful sprue. All ready for the garbage. Come on, garbage sprue. No, well, you're going in the garbage. No one cares about you. Unless you're that guy that collects sprues and makes cool things out of them. I should post a link to his YouTube channel. So we've got legs, hair, or face. That's hair. That's on the ground. No, it didn't. There we go. Oh, there we go. Look at that beautiful detail on that face. So foot, legs, torso, hair, head, sash. That goes, I think, somewhere behind him according to the pictures on the box. What's his belt? Oh, it's his belt, so it will go just in there. And by belt, I mean sleeves, which are tied around his torso. So I'll clean those up and come back. Cool. So we've got the little guy all tidied up now. So we'll be putting the legs on first. So a reminder, if you're using any sort of liquid spent, so like Rexel, Tamiya, have your fix, just to use them in a well-ventilated location so you don't gas yourself, because yeah, it can be a bit toxic. No one wants to be hotboxing and losing brain cells. Cool. So while we wait for that to dry, we'll attempt this head. So reminder that dry fitting is always your best friend, unless there's no correct way for this thing to go together. I'm going to check some references. Just a moment. So according to Weird's instruction on their website, that's how it's supposed to go together. So let's see if we can actually do that without making a total dog's breakfast of it. Oh my god, is that it? Okay. I did that all off camera. Okay. So the head looks like this. And it plugs in like that. Here we go. So that's got like a little notch in it. And the head notches in like that. So if you're holding that like that, it goes like that. So holding him by his beard, top of his brow, plugs in like that. That's super fiddly. So imagine that, but everything looks like a random piece of meat with all different textures on it. And that is what you get when you try to get together a Insidious Madness. The Insidious Madnesses are like those little like keychain puzzle things that you get from like puzzle stores. Man, they're maddening. So this guy, by comparison, it's quite cool. It's quite a clever little cut that they've got there. Hide the join, and there's pretty much no seam lines on any of that. So that's awesome. So while that dries, I'll put on the folded shirt. So he's basically wearing prison overalls, and he's pulled them around his waist and tied a knot with the arms of it. So that will go in a particular way. There we go. So this little triangle bit here will key into there. So Malifaux pieces, when they want to be, are really clever. That's just perfectly on in. And now I'm going to wreck it. There we go. Yeah, that's perfect. That's just keyed in with no muss or fuss. Beautiful. And that adds that extra dimensionality to the model. I'm just pronouncing it really badly. Cool. And then his head. Yeah, so his head will just slip in there like that. Yeah, there we go. That's the head. Yeah, that's beautiful. Gonna say, like, for what I thought would be a simple little kit, that head's been quite challenging. And the ponytail on Danny Trejo over there. Look at him. Yeah, that's got some clever cuts on it. That's quite a cool kit. And his foot. So I probably won't base these guys today. I'll need to order in bases. So I'm using Micro Arts desert bases for my Parker Barrows crew. So if you sand them a little bit around the edges, they'll slot in perfectly to a weird base. Is that right? That looks a little bit odd. Yeah, here we go. That's him all made up. Oh, some shake there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we've got a Parker Barrows there. So that's the Micro Art 28mm base. So we'll be mounting these guys on that. Go with the rest of the Parker Barrows crew, because Parker Barrows looks like lots and lots of fun to play with. Just need to pick up a color scheme for him as well, because I'm feeling like brown on brown on brown and black is going to be really boring. Like, that's how he should be painted. It's just, I want to get a little bit more out of him. There's our two Convict Gunslingers side by side. Parker Barrow for scale, and let's bring out the Sad Lamenter, the saddest Space Marine chapter. So about that sort of size. Oh yeah, so I mentioned that if I could, I'd find a picture of the Convict Gunslingers from 1.5, possibly 1. I don't have any information about Malifaux first edition. Like, it's really limited. So that's how these guys used to look. So there's been quite a bit of change over there. And yeah, I'll check these guys on a turntable so you can see how they look with a full spin around. Maybe mention something about the rules. So there we go. That's Parker Barrows and the two Convict Gunslingers assembled. So yeah, they fit in pretty well with his crew. They've got Life of Crime, so at the start of its activation, they can remove a scheme marker within 4. It's a game fast, so they've got that extra AP. They can treat charge actions generating shoot instead of melee actions, so they can run and shoot, which is awesome. Quick draw, so basically defensive trigger on a mask, so whenever an attack action is a shooting action against these guys, the attacking model suffers 2, 4, 5 with a negative flip on the damage. And they've got Gunslinger, so they can treat their shooting actions as melee actions. So Parker Barrows crews are really versatile, like all over the place, especially with his like Nightmare Color Outer Space cape over there. That's fantastic. And they've also got bulletproof, so any damage they take from shooting attacks is reduced by 1. So armor, but just against shooting attacks. For attack actions, they've got custom fire avs, so it's using the old paired rule, so they're getting a positive flip on the attack, although the stat's pretty low with a 5. Range 12 against defense, 2, 4, 5 damage, so an average sort of spread. On a mask, they can take the action again, targeting the same model. On a crow, they can basically give the enemy slow, and on a tomes, they can make an enemy target drop an enemy scheme marker in base contact with itself within line of sight of this model. And then for the tactical actions, can target another friendly model within 3. Move the target up to 3, then this model may move 3, which must end within 3 of the target. So chain activations from the previous edition. These guys are a bit pricey at 8 soulstones, but you are getting a lot of them out of the models as well. They are quite cool. Defense 5, willpower 5, and 7 health means that if they get targeted, they're going to fall pretty quick. But move 5 means they're going to be pretty quick, especially with Life at Crime if they can like burn those scheme markers. Run and gun and quick draw means they've got that defensive trick if you can pull it off. Size 2, so line of sight and stuff's pretty basic for these guys. They're just sitting right in the middle of how they can target and interact with terrain and stuff. Yeah, so that's me babbling about the Convict Gunslingers. Kind of enjoyed putting these little guys together. If you've got any comments, that'd be awesome. I sometimes frequent the Weird Place Facebook group. That's where I'll be posting this and how I get most of my views. If you're not part of it, I strongly suggest you join. Like, super friendly community, super helpful. There's some fantastic like creative ideas and like inspiration there. If you want to see more of this sort of thing, subscribe to the channel. Like I said in the last update, I'm probably going to slow things down. So maybe about a video a month, which is pretty slow, but I've got a kid on the way. So maybe after a year or two, that might pick back up. Or if I can do quick, nice and cheap, easy videos, that might speed it up as well. I've got a big unboxing coming up as well, probably after Christmas and the New Year, for Necromunda Dark Uprising. So that should be tons of fun. I've picked up Slaves to Darkness, start collecting, but I probably won't build that on the channel. It's just nice to step away from recording everything I do. And yeah, like the video. That's important. It makes me feel important and want to keep doing this. Commenting is great, and subscribing means you get to see more from me. I hope you guys have a good December and a happy Christmas and New Year's if you celebrate those things. Otherwise, have a good time while everyone else is celebrating those things. And yeah, spend time with like friends and be happy. Thanks. Bye.